3, 2, 1, and here we are live and still alive. So
yeah,
welcome.
Thriving.
Yay, welcome everyone. Thank you for coming to our channel tonight. So we are going to give you time to arrive because we're here and still alive, which is amazing. And just spend a moment. I'm just going to check in that everything is working okay here, which is beautiful. I've got a lot of things open on my laptop as usual.
That is your signature.
That's my signature. So,
hello, Debbie. Hello, Debbie. Where you're first on, loads of love to you. Just locked in as you've been talking to our friends in Sri Lanka. Wow. That's a long way for you, Debbie. Beautiful Sri Lanka.
Yeah. So the good news is
for you, Debbie. Beautiful Sri Lanka.
Yes, beautiful Sri Lanka. So the good news is that I have been let off the naughty step on YouTube. So Debbie says loads of love. Okay, that's beautiful. I have been let off the naughty step of YouTube, which means that I'm able to live stream and put things into YouTube again. But I have to be mega careful. So we mustn't say any of the words that might cause them to not like what we're saying. So they have got robots, online robots all the time that are tracking everything that we say and do. So Debbie says, congratulations. If I'm naughty again, they're going to put me back. And then if I'm naughty again, that will be the end of it. I won't be allowed into YouTube anymore. But meanwhile, I do have Odyssey, BitChute, and Rumble. I've opened Rumble so I can upload to Rumble. So I will be posting things there as well. So we will keep going. But meanwhile, can I just ask people not to say anything that might be triggering these robots that I need a bigger step. Yeah. So wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I'm honored actually to have been put on the naughty step because I've been there with absolutely the top people around the world who are trying to speak out against awful things that are going on. So
yeah. Well,
Ray is logged in. Oh, it's nice that he's here. He's not watching the footy this week, is he?
No, it can't be every week that you follow a ball, is there?
No, you can't follow me every week. So just get my tea. Did you bring your tea, Brigitte?
I've got yogi tea. Yeah, not real tea.
To your good health. I've got Yorkshire tea here.
Oh wow, I don't know how you do that. So this is to yogi tea.
This is my fourth cup of the day.
Oh my gracious! And we have a good morning from Santa Barbara. Hello, beautiful Marianne.
Lovely.
And we have a good afternoon from Abigail. Hello, beautiful Abigail. And we have a teapot. We have Paul. Hi, ladies. Great to be here today. Hello, Paul.
Teapot Pixie. I like that.
Yeah. And we have Graham who says, I have J and T, whatever that is. Guts.
Gin and tonic. Gin and tonic, I think he means.
Tonic. Oh, my gracious. You are in for something, aren't you? Up the rebels. And here comes beautiful Jack. Hello, Jack. Oh, my. Mamma mia.
Mamma mia. So can you all hear us okay? Because it's always a bit kind of hit and miss with me, with my technology. So hopefully you can hear okay.
Well, I can hear you. So, Jack, can you check? Or put your thumbs up? Or, no, you can't put your thumbs up. Can you just put a little message to say, you can hear us, please?
So Where are you, Brigitte, now? You've been travelling all the way around France, and you're away from loud and clear. You've been away from home for a long time. Where are you now?
I've been away for over 8 weeks.
No way.
Yes, before Christmas. So, yes,
Wow.
and fascinating how I have been holding polarities, like, yeah, just on the edge of death and life, on the edge of abandonment and offering support. Yes, so I've been really addressing deep trauma work, as well as making wonderful walks and reconnecting with the ancestral water places where the people, women, children, and babies in the cradles used to be put on the wheelbarrows and taken down. So that's what I've been for the last 4 weeks, as well as holding babies, burping babies, getting you know, when you name
That's really
it.
important work to be doing, to be burping babies and things.
Very important, burping babies, feeding babies, making sure baby, when there is no milk for mama from mama's boobs, making sure baby has the bottle with goat's milk. So yes, that's where we have been initiating the transitions, and now it's set into place.
Yeah.
So it's the next stage. So it feels very much like having come to the full circle of resolution with whatever was happening, with not only being very ill for my niece and losing her milk, but feeling, just all the feelings that go with that, with the sense of going into the depression,
Well,
which is part
it's
of the
been
trauma.
huge.
It's huge. It's huge. And so many people right now are being challenged one way or another with family situations like that. So
Yes.
Jack is saying it's loud and clear on FB too. Thank you, Jack. That's wonderful.
And from my end, I've heard, first of all, my solicitor is having some kind of mental breakdown or anxiety thing, so he had to leave work. It's just the pressure that's been on everyone is tremendous. And the vicar of our local church has also gone on leave because she was completely overwhelmed with the amount of distressed people that she couldn't cope anymore.
Yeah.
So
That makes total sense. So I've just been translating today another protocol of support and sending it to the osteopath who managed to see us all the women. So what I wanted to show is how beautiful it is when there is that community field of like-minded spirits, and what you're working towards is the best of whoever is in crisis, and you just bring all your skills,
yeah,
all your presence, all your resources from elders and childhood and being a mother, having fed babies and all that.
bring it all in.
Yeah, you bring it
In.
all to the front. Although whoever is going through doesn't and cannot hear you, you're still doing it. And it reminded me of Mother Teresa, the beautiful prayer of Mother Teresa. Whatever you do for a loved one, they might reject you, or they might slam the door in your face, or they might spit at you. Keep loving them. There's this beautiful prayer. I wish I had it today, but maybe I could bring it for next time from Mother Teresa.
Yeah,
Whatever you do, keep doing it, keep loving, keep holding the compassion, and hold the faith.
yeah. So that's important. So Debbie says, Graham says, Debbie keeps telling me she can't cope with untidiness.
Oh,
So I don't know what's untidy in your house, Graham. Is it you? Are you leaving your socks around and things? What's upsetting Debbie? What are you doing? Or is it Debbie's untidiness? So how can we be not get irritated by each other's habits? Maybe we will get irritated, but how can we be with that? That's important, isn't it?
that's Yeah, that's about creating a bit of spaciousness inside ourselves.
Oh, it's Graham being untidy. So it's interesting that you refer, putting my tea down, refer to Mother Teresa and the beautiful poem. It's like this week I've been noticing more of people that we've been following and holding up it with reverence as leaders or whatever, is actually finding out that they're not who they appear to be and that they've been doing really bad things. And Mother Teresa is one of them, apparently, along with John of God, who's now in prison for his abuse, child abuse, and so on. And there's so much kind of, as you peel back the layers. I had a shock this week to find out that Edward Snowden, who I was completely in support of and thought he was a complete hero, is also controlled opposition. And so, we have to go deeper and deeper with things. But meanwhile, this week, I posted about the Super Bowl. So, Graham, I hate to tell you this because you're a football fan. He says he's never irritated. Oh, they just have fun laughing. Okay.
I'm so glad because I've just been with two people who are, shall we say, not a single grain of dust or untidiness. They need everything to be white around them with emptiness because of their own internal crisis. So when you have an internal crisis, everything around you needs to be really spotless.
Yeah, or very messy. Like my house is getting very messy because there's so much going on.
Yes.
But everybody else tells me it's still clean and beautiful. So
yeah,
maybe I was a perfectionist before. But coming back to the whole thing about football, Graham, and I was posting because I never heard. I don't know how many here have heard about Super Bowl. Did you hear about Super Bowl?
I don't know anything about the Super Bowl, but I know that football players are earning billions.
Yeah.
And there is a tremendous amount of, I don't know if I can say the word, of not really
Hi, Selena.
aligned values. Yeah.
So hang on, let's see what Debbie said. I heard a lot of things about Mother Teresa too in the past. Not so angelic as it's made out. Yes, it's like it's hard. It's like having to sift through all this information. It's like the prayer that Brigitte read about Mother Teresa. I mean, that she said that is true. It's like the teaching is right and true, isn't it? So Selena said Super Bowls, satanic rituals. Yes, that's right. I'd never heard of Super Bowl before this week.
Okay. Can you mind your language? Because
mind your language. I don't know if that's a word that's going to trigger anything, so we won't say that word.
No, don't say that, please. SATNIC, please.
Yeah, so we won't say that.
No.
But Graham says American version of football. Yeah. So apparently, I mean, it's a huge thing that Americans look forward to every year, and it's a huge game, and there's millions of people that attend, or maybe thousands. I tend to exaggerate, but I did post about it a lot. But in the halftime performance, there's a massive, that thing that I can't say the word of, that is like putting a spell on people around the world. It's a kind of magical thing that happens on the dark side that's putting a spell on people, the same as in the Olympic Games. If you look at the opening ceremony of the last Olympic Games in the UK, and then the opening ceremony of
Spain. Yes, Spain.
Yeah. Again, you have these rituals happening.
Yeah.
And when you kind of piece it together and you look at what's happening, they kind of are predictive. They're showing you in plain sight what they're planning to do. Yeah. And it's really quite shocking. So the thing about the giving bread and circuses, yes, is that an expression, Jack? It's like to keep us entertained.
Well, Well, it sounds like very much like in the arena with the lions and the Christians. And let's throw them to the lions so we keep the people entertained.
Yeah, well, we're being entertained. We're being captivated by these rituals that are happening on the dark side that are, and they're there to put a spell over humanity. And the more we're kind of pulled in, there's all these kind of performers from, big entertainment performers that are also under the control of the dark side. And we've already had some of those exposed, like, I can't think of the names of them now, singers, and they've been, sexual abuse cases and things about them. I can't think of any of their names. I'm sure somebody here knows their names. But anyway, I posted a lot about Super Bowl here and the other night, and to do some kind of ceremony. So Super Bowl was followed by Valentine's night. And it's like, first of all, how can we see what's happening when they do these rituals, actually understand the symbology of them, and how can we then put something else out into the ethers, into the collective, which is that of love and sacredness. So I have been aiming to do that in my little videos. We've been doing little videos of our bells for freedom and other things every night. Have you been ringing your bell, Brigitte?
The big one, yes, at different times. Yes, it feels very, very good. Yes, it's interesting about the inverted matrix, because humanity needs to come together, around games, around what is called community games, where we share together, we do things together. But then when there is something else that is happening, and yes, I won't use the word, then that ceremony, which was a beautiful ceremony flowing, is deviated to serve another purpose, a darker purpose. And most of the people don't even notice, because they are mesmerized by watching a ball and running.
It's not the part that's watching the ball. It's not the games. There's a performance in the middle of this, which
Yes, I hear that. And there is often a performance before, and often there are ongoing rituals.
Yeah, and also it's a hub for human trafficking.
Yeah.
The whole thing with the Super Bowl, apparently.
Yeah. So there's so much information right now about what is unfolding, what has been, yes, in a way, humanity at every level has been hijacked at every level. I mean, there is a war. It's the Star War. Do you remember the film, The Lord of the Ring? In The Lord of the Ring.
Lord of the Rings.
Yes, The Lord of the Rings. Thank you. When there is the battle, and the army is risen from creating from matter monsters, okay, from the dark side. So we're back into rituals, the dark rituals. And the king in the night goes into a place, which is the place of the dead, but there is an army there. And he pledges with them and says, I can redeem you if you will do one fight for me. And that is calling the dark to serve the light. And this is how something changes. So how can we bring our light into the darkest of places rather than being afraid? And
That's
from
really
that
important.
place, it's a very important point. And from that place, we do battle to redeem something that has not been redeemed down our lineages, or something that's not been redeemed down our country or our culture. If I look at France, we have been part of the enslavement programs. In every harbor in France, we were the harbor that sheltered the sails of slaves.
Yeah.
That's just one thing I mean, England has other things. Every country, we've colonialized other countries. We've stolen. So this is exactly like in The Lord of the Rings. So if we go back to that film, we can read it or we can listen to that in such a profound way.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Debbie is saying that's my favorite part of The Lord of the Rings. Yes, there is something, there is a great redemption. Who dares disturb our peace, says the souls of the tormented ones. And
who
he
said
said,
that?
the ghosts, who dare disturb our peace? You've trespassed. You will not get out of here alive. And nobody normally gets out of there alive. And he says, I stand. And I am pledging with my sword. And of course, he's holding the sword that has been, melted and redone. So it's a sword that cannot be broken. So it's how can each one of us, we hold our alignment, we hold our sword of truth and integrity, and not fear, not go with fear. And that's one of the most profound passages. There are many others in The Lord of the Rings. Yes.
Yeah. That's like that Polish tennis player. What's his name?
Djokovic. Yes. Not Djokovic, something like that.
That wasn't allowed, that was imprisoned when he tried to go into Australia. And was he deported?
Yes.
And there was an amazing interview on him, apparently on the BBC, I saw yesterday, but I didn't have time to properly look at it, where he was questioned, like, would you sacrifice being the best tennis player in the world in order to refuse having that thing stuck in you?
Yeah.
And he said, absolutely, he would never. Thank you, Teapot Pixie.
Yes, it was not Djokovic. Yes.
And it's so amazing. It's so beautiful to actually have people that are absolutely standing in total alignment. They're not going to be hooked in any shape or form, even if it means sacrificing their most inner, tenderest dreams, or the thing that, it's a bit like me and you. We haven't seen each other for several years because we actually will not even pretend to go along with the agenda. So we simply haven't traveled.
Hello,
Hi, Sharon.
Sharon. Hello, darling.
So
yes,
it's so beautiful.
Djokovic would just refuse to be compromised.
He would not be compromised. And I think this is where we all have to stand and not be compromised at all. And Selena says, to remain
within the capacity to witness the dark without failing, falling into the rabbit hole and emerging with the dark, holding truth, love, and being virtuous. Yes. Yes.
And Jack says integrity. Yeah.
Yeah, integrity is, but that's a big one. So for Djokovic, that was a big one. He was putting his reputation, his world reputation, as one of the best tennis players, and saying, I would not compromise, not even for that.
No, it's about like Jesus being tested by the devil, isn't it? It's
definitely. And fascinating, because today I was sharing with my lovely daughter, and I was saying, and she said, well, we had to have that done in order to come and see you. I said, I ask you not to do that to come and see me. And I will not do that to come and see you. However, I want you to hear, I feel the sadness of not seeing you. And that's the key. Can we feel our feelings, the felt sense of, yes, I feel the sadness of not seeing you, of not hugging you, not being able to laugh and share, or go to a restaurant, or dance with you, or do mad things like I always do when I'm with my family.
Yeah.
Like jumping fully dressed in the pool, or diving to teach my grandson how to dive. And he dares me to dive fully dressed. And because he says, you don't know how to dive. And I said, don't I? And I dive fully dressed. But now he knows how to dive because he has that vision. So it's hard to be mad.
Oh my God, Debbie has just said, I heard on Hugo today that Djokovic has 80% shares in some drug company. And although he is saying that now, later he'll recommend certain tablets for you. Know what? Well, that's interesting because I've watched a couple of things from Hugo, and most of the time I really go along with what he's saying. And then sometimes he said things that, I'm not sure if he's right.
Well, time will tell. Time will tell, Debbie. This is where we are all being. I was listening to the French, we've got the French elections and we've got the Trucks for Liberty. And everyone now is being brought into the light.
And we're all having to question, aren't we? Question,
yes.
and question and question and like.
Are you being aligned? Are you true to yourself? Or are you being corrupt and pretending to be true?
Yeah, and everybody's sniffing out everybody else to see if they're in integrity or not, aren't they?
Yeah. So
you better, clean up your act, everybody. There's no room here now for messy behavior, messy, duplicitous. Is that the word? Duplicitous. Yeah, stand in your light, but stand true.
Stand true at every level, every level.
Yes.
And that's a huge one, isn't it? But that's how we are going to shift. That is how we're going to shift the planet, by staying aligned with the law of the universe. And the law of the universe is absolute 100% integrity.
Yeah, love, truth.
Love, compassion, light, peace, peace, unity. And that's not an easy one. Really is not an easy one.
Yeah, so Hugo said he was just reporting. Yeah. So like everybody's trying to do their best, I think, to fathom out what's true and what's not true. And
remember to undermine others. Sorry, Juliet, I cut you across.
No, I don't know what I was saying anyway. So
you were saying, yes, that everyone is being challenged right now to know what is truth and what is fake. And remember, some people's identities are totally copied on YouTube. Very, very, very good people like Pam Gregory, the astrologer. She's been copied 9 times. People have created websites stealing her identity.
I was so excited the other day because we suddenly found out that Sasha Stowe, maybe I shouldn't say his name, but anyway, was following me on Instagram. And I thought, oh my goodness me, how come he's following, how is he following me? That's amazing. And then somebody messaged me and said, no, he's been scammed and there's fake websites been set up for him.
Yes.
And it was just a random thing. He wasn't following me. But look at how my ego in that moment, oh my goodness, he's following me.
Yes. You see, that is an amazing how even a fake news or a fake website can suddenly bring you back to alignment.
Yeah.
That's great mastery. Oh, wonderful. Like today, some man asked to be friends by just something I posted, that Archbishop. And a man said, I hope you don't mind, but I would like to be friends with you. I have deleted it. Because
it might be nice, Brigitte.
Yes. Are you being the devil's advocate, Juliet?
Absolutely.
I trust my guts that yes. Yes, especially on the profile when it comes from medical advisor, and fascinating because I stand for a non-compromised immune system.
Yeah.
And I don't, everyone can see that on Facebook or YouTube in my videos.
Yeah.
So Sharon,
okay.
Go on. You want to read it, Juliet?
No, you read it.
It's up to you. As within, so without, Sharon. Yes. Radical responsibility for our own sphere of influence is vital. Much distraction from working out who is genuine, who owns what shares in what company, etc. As you said, time will tell. Yes, because it's a distraction and it's a deviation.
Yeah. Time will tell. So
Yeah.
we just have to keep trusting our instincts, as Elias has said.
And yes, Elias. Yes, thank you, Elias. I go with my highest intuition and my medium qualities. And I mean, he was very polite, extremely polite. He would be, honored if I befriended. How fascinating how we can use the language, how to be honored.
Well, that would immediately make you think, oh, that would be wonderful to reach out and connect with him because he's honored by my.
And I thought, oh, yeah, wow. How does my ego respond to that? Do I want to be honored or do I want to be like the donkey?
What's a carrot and a poke?
No, the beautiful donkey. I was listening to Shonali last night on the Twilight Tales, and she was sharing that the king Bambarim Phoebus, who's been encaved for 39 days and listening to the 10 wonderful things. And the last one is about, coming out of the cave thanks to the Shimir, but that's a different story. And how he was just reminding himself as a stone came down from the vault as he was being rescued. He took that stone, put it in his pocket, and he said, I will always keep this stone with me to remind myself of the connection from above to the below and how to stay grounded in humility. That I couldn't have gone out of the cave unless the Shimir, with his tiny little being who feeds on stone, was brought by the giant eagle to rescue the king Benbarim Phoebus, who then, as he went out, met with donkey who he had rescued 6 months ago in another story of this beautiful, long, lengthy Twilight Tale. And donkey and him, then he had to ride on donkey to run away from the ogress so she would not kill Benbarim Phoebus. So it's a whole story of how can we hold the 5 elements: earth, connection to the ground; water, connection to the flow of life. And we need to hydrate and drink. Fire, which is the hot, the bread, the leaven, the air, which is the wind in the trees and the storytelling, the songs, the music, and the ether, which is spiritual world. So we have those 5 elements. And we have forgotten how to be in the 5 elements because we went into consumerism, capitalism, and now we are in totalitarianism.
Lots of isms and
Lots of isms and communisms and all that kind of.
Yeah, so let's put the isms aside. Selena says, what does integrity mean for people? So would you like to, everyone watching, if you feel like it, just give us a little feedback. What does integrity mean for you? What does it mean for you to be in your integrity? Where would you draw the line? Where would you not compromise yourself? So it takes a little while for people to think about this and write. So Selena, oh, okay, she says, sorry, posted before I finished typing. The meaning people hold for me,
No,
the meaning people hold for the word integrity. Many can say that they hold integrity, but do they really? Where are they holding it? Mind, body, or both?
Yeah.
That's interesting. So what does integrity mean for you, Selena? You're thinking about this. When do you know? Melanie's here. That's beautiful. Hi, Melanie.
Hello, Melanie.
So when do you know that you're in integrity? And Sharon says, to maintain my moral values, to be honest, to stand in truth. That's integrity for you.
That
Sharon.
takes some doing, Sharon.
Yeah. We're just talking, Melanie, about integrity. When do you know that you're in your integrity and aligned? Where would you compromise yourself? Or where would you not compromise yourself?
And it's interesting from what Selena, you were saying. If we go with Thomas Hubel, who teaches trauma, collective and individual trauma, he shares about the three sync, the synchronization of the three bodies, physical, mental, and emotional body. So if we take that question, where do I compromise? In which one of my bodies do I compromise my integrity? Or am I not compromising my integrity, either physically, emotionally, mentally, psychologically, or spiritually? That's quite a big challenge, isn't it?
Yeah.
Looking at
So
it like that.
I'm just thinking, Brigitte, the more unresolved trauma you have, the more is the tendency to compromise, because you may
Yeah,
mentally have a thought about what's right or wrong, but
yeah.
your, unresolved trauma in the body,
Mm,
you may
mm,
have an unresolved need or something
mm,
that is kind of, what's the word? Undermining you. So you might think you're doing something, but there's something else that's undermined.
mm,
So, for instance, if you didn't have good relationship with your parents, or if you were abandoned as a small child, then you might say, no, I'm going to be really careful about who I get into a relationship with, because I have to stand in my truth and integrity. But meanwhile, this underlying need of attachment and to be loved or to be honored can be pushing you to then step out of integrity, but you don't even see that, because
mm,
um,
mm.
that split is there, that
Yes.
psychological,
Mm,
that trauma split is there, that dissociation is there. So
yes.
it takes a lot of healing to actually stand in integrity, a lot of really self-reflection and actually physical body work to stand in integrity.
That makes total sense. Thank you for sharing that, Juliet, because I really resonate deeply with that.
Yeah,
Recently I witnessed someone who was, yes, mentally polarized to cope and was totally, leaving the body. So, and there was no judgment, just being with that situation. So maybe the question would be, how can we be with someone who cannot hold integrity?
well, that's a
Because
whole nother thing, isn't it?
it is, but that is where we're being asked to hold compassion.
So Sharon says things become sticky, resistant, and difficult when I'm not in alignment.
Mm.
So that's interesting. So you're really tuned into your body,
Yeah.
Sharon, after a lot of healing work that you've done, that you've really deeply tuned in, and you're aware of what's happening somatically, what's happening in your body. So you begin to pick those things up. Whilst if you're dissociated, if you're numbed out from your body, then you may not even feel that. So this is the importance of the trauma healing.
Mm.
And Jack says, he loves freedom, universal equality, and truth. So, what's the difference between what's mental? It's like in healing, something can land mentally, but it's not landed in your body.
Yeah.
So, there's a kind of a first step of healing that's happening because you've grasped concepts and you've chosen to move towards a particular concept, but you may not have embodied that concept. You may not have really embodied that as in an aligned way. So, I think this is something for us to explore, each one of us.
Yeah, and that's very deep. That goes profoundly because that's the first step. I agree with you, Julia. And usually the understanding comes first, and then the landing will come step by step with some resistance
Yeah, it could
because
be a lot of resistance, and the landing can bring up so much stuff that then we
it,
kind of
it really
switch off.
does.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've witnessed that in the last 4 weeks, you know, and it's fascinating. Can take one step forward and then 3 steps backwards.
yeah,
But you stay with that. So it's a very important key. How can we stay, yes, with witnessing situations or people or loved ones who you feel are out of alignment, not because they want to be out of alignment, but they have no choice.
yeah. So Sharon says if we work with these energy centers, we can start to feel safe and grounded on earth. Yeah. So it comes back all the time, doesn't it, to our own self-healing and what we're dealing with at the moment. She also says we can flow, we can give, and we can receive. Yeah. Hopefully, but you know, when we're traumatized, a lot of giving and receiving gets affected as well. So we may be able to give very easily, maybe much easier to give, but very difficult to receive, or we might be able to receive endlessly, take, but not give. These are embodied, these are things that we actually work on therapeutically, actually in the body. You know, there are 5 key movements of being able to reach out, take hold and bring to yourself that somatically you may never have actually learned how to do. So that's another deep layer of working. So I just wanted to move on because so much has happened this
You've got
week.
poems and you've got poems you want to share.
I've got a poem I want to share, and I want to have a quick overview of what's been happening this week. So first of all, there's been a stall on the high street happening in Glastonbury, and that's been wonderful because it's been amazing how many people have come along and talked, and how many people actually now are beginning to see, at least in Glastonbury, or there's been people coming from outside of Glastonbury that stopped and talked, that's actually knows what's going on, like the breadth of the picture of what's going on, they really have a good comprehension of. So I just felt it was really powerful to go onto the street and be talking personally with people, even though it's a lot of time to do that. Jack says he's working with his ability to receive. Yeah, it's a tough one, Jack. So that's been happening, and we do have a Facebook page up for Glastonbury Health and Medical Freedom Alliance. So do go to that page if you can. I'm not going to put any links under YouTube anymore because that might be another reason that they put me on the naughty step. So alongside that, because of the huge thing that's happening with the men that drive the, we call them lorries in England. I mean, it's a huge global movement at the moment, and I don't know if people have been following it here. I've posted a lot in my Telegram channel about it, and these lorries are pouring into Israel, into Jerusalem, in the Netherlands, in Finland, Australia, New Zealand. There's a huge thing going on in Canada, both at the border and in the capital, around the Parliament building. Hi, John. And in London, in England, there are also these big things happening with the lorries. And there's a camp outside of Scotland Yard, I think it is. So John said,
I love what you said, John. I love the gist of the punching a hole in the matrix.
that's
I
beautiful.
just heard today that every time a person wakes up and realizes the truth, it punches a hole in the matrix, and that is why the matrix is crumbling. Yes, I love that vision of the boxer that each one of us, we are using. You know, we are standing. We've been talking about standing and what integrity means. And because when we have trauma, it's much more difficult to stay within the highest law of the universe and with the highest of frequencies. But when we tune in to each other and relate, even in very complex situations, like where I've been, or Juliet, maybe on the high street meeting certain people who are really in big crisis, how can we just be with that with absolute calmness, openness, and be moment by moment, instant by instant, with little, like, it's like feeding a bird, or it's like feeding something. It's a trickle, and that trickle needs to be, it's really feeling where the other person is at. It's being in that presence. We're not knowing what is the next moment going to be like.
Yeah. And to feel other people, we really need to get our own stuff out of the way, first of all. It's not about repressing our stuff, but just to be noticing, okay, this is coming up for me in this moment. I can feel that.
Yeah.
And now my attention, I'm holding space for this other person. Now I can tune in and feel. I mean, that's the fundamental basis of what I'm doing in the trauma skills training. How to hold space for people, how to notice your own activation and to hold space as well. So, yeah. So to go back again, Jack said he's very moved by
what you're doing on Glastonbury High Street, Julia, and the 9 p.m. bell ringing. Yes, that was agreed in the White Tara Mandala trauma group. So we all ring our bells. And the 9 p.m. was chosen because most of the raiding in wartime happened at 9 at night. And around that time, and Big Ben would be ringing, and the same in France, it would be different times. So because I'm an hour ahead, I tend to do it a bit differently. So yes, it can be a singing bowl, but the key is to send a high frequency vibration. And it all came because we were mentioning how many of the bells had come down, and bells were keeping the frequencies of the people and humanity at a very high hertz vibration. And they've changed the octaves to bring them down. So it's every level, every layer seems to have been, I don't like to use the word hijacked again, but it's been completely deviated. So instead of keeping our frequencies aligned with our highest light, as we are beings of light with high frequencies, although we may have forgotten, when we bring back those sounds, then we are taking the octave back up.
Yeah, taking the octave up. So this brings us full circle. So Darrell here. He says, "Hi, Juliet. Hello, Juliet and Marby, and male and female divinity coming up. Sasha Stone, really, Juliet. More self-love. Humanity needs it at this time." I'm not quite sure what your comment about Sasha is, but anyway, so it was him that has discovered in his Lazarus project about the parts of history that have been hidden. And one of the things was that there's giant bells around the world that have been found broken.
Yes, and I agree with that, because there was a film made from the Russian bells being completely smashed. I've got the film somewhere, we look for it. It's an old video film, not a DVD. And when the Russian Revolution ended, one of the men asked for a bell to be made to crown his achievement in Russia. And they couldn't find anyone because they had all been murdered. And then they found this one young man, and his head was on the block. And he had to remember how his master, the compound, the mixed, which was very delicate, and he was being watched over day and night. And he was like controlled while he was making this giant bell. And he succeeded, but it was just showing how on the line we are right now. Again.
So yeah, this is why we wanted to ring the bell. So in our White Tara Mandala advanced trauma group, we were talking about bells and the importance of the vibration for humanity, and the fact that we have these lorry drivers all over the world that are really putting themselves on the line. I mean, how they actually, especially in Canada, at 30 degrees, minus 30 degrees, they're in vehicles overnight, and they've been there almost 3 weeks now. Really, like, there is no compromise here. They are going to stay until everything's taken down, until freedom is restored. So we wanted to do at 9 o'clock, and that everybody in their own country can do 9 o'clock at night to ring a bell. And as Brigitte said, it doesn't necessarily have to be a bell. It can be a bowl. If you don't have a bell, it can be a Tibetan bowl or whatever. But to focus, to send that high vibration of peace and love and support, so that we have around the world this beautiful bell ringing going on. continually, and that goes out into the vibrationally, this love. And so do join us when I put my 9 o'clock bells up. I might not be able to do it every night live to Facebook or recorded to Facebook, but I will as much as I can. But it can, just share the word, send the word around, 9 o'clock, freedom bells. Mm-hmm. And that ties in as well with the whole thing that we started with the Super Bowl and the rituals that happen there. How can we create other beautiful spiritual rituals and put out the feelings of love and, really send those out in a very focused way? So when was Valentine's Day? A couple of days ago. So you love that, Sharon. Great. Yeah, all of us can just it's such a simple thing to do just at 9 o'clock, just to do a little ring, a bell ring. And if you can take some time, a minute or 10 minutes or whatever, just to tune in and send that love out.
And you can light a candle, just light a little candle, even a little, one of those little warming lights.
Night lights, yeah.
Night lights, yes. And then you just go and ring a bell and tune into the world. Because wherever it is on the world, there is a child dying, there's a child being born, someone dying, and someone waking up from this nightmare. Yeah. Every moment.
Yeah, so to help to punch the hole into the matrix, to help people wake up, to really send out that love and supportive energy, to ring your bell. And it was, what's his name, Wellesley Tudor Pole, that put out in England the 9 o'clock bell ringing to end the war.
I don't remember.
Full moon, freedom, best tonight. What's best? Full moon, freedom, best.
Bless. Maybe bless.
Okay, so maybe something will happen here for the full moon. It was it was a beautiful and very spontaneous thing that happened here last night. It's like suddenly my Kuan Yin room filled up with people, and we did some beautiful kirtan. And you're tired, Brigitte?
Yes.
Or am I boring you?
No. I did hesitate to come on tonight because it's been an intense 4 weeks.
Yeah.
But I still wanted to be here.
Yeah, so go and lie down maybe afterwards, have a rest. We've only got a few minutes left. So
okay. You're not
boring.
We
had this beautiful kirtan, and it was so amazing. It was so much fun and so much energy, really sacred, but lots of singing and bell ringing, and it went on. I was up till 2 in the morning. It's my third night of being up till 2 in the morning, because before that I was watching the stuff about the Super Bowl. No, I know, but I'm on a bit of a high at the moment. The computer can't spell.
I think he meant bless.
Oh, bless. So yeah, maybe we'll do something for the full moon tonight, and I'll try and post the bell ringing. But I want to read this really beautiful full moon freedom bells. Yes. Oh. Somebody else like to post as well their full moon freedom bells on their timeline, on their status. That would be wonderful. So the more bells on Facebook that we can send out, the better. So one of the people that was at the kirtan, spontaneous kirtan we did last night, Alex, his name was, read this beautiful poem. And if anybody can identify, I'm only going to read a fraction of it. If you can identify where it's from, you can have a free night stay at Healing Waters. So it's a little Healing Waters quiz. You're going to have to listen over and over to the words. And next week I will, or maybe later tonight, I'll read some more of the words. That's it. I'll read some more of the words when I do my bell ring tonight. So if you can come back to me and tell me where these words came from, and the clue is that they're very, very ancient, really ancient. I'd never heard of it before last night. And yeah, it's very beautiful. So I'm going to read now the first part of this poem, or the first part of this text. Okay, so hopefully I can read it. Okay. So just bear with me. So I'm reading it from a photograph that was sent to me of the book, the ancient book that it was in. So it's a conversation. This is a clue. It's a conversation between two celestial beings. And it's all about love. The air I am breathing was exhaled in ecstasy by an ancient sun. This earth I am standing on was born of cosmic fire. The blood flowing through my veins is as salty as the primordial ocean. The space permeating my body is infinite as the space all around. Above, below, to all sides within, the elements of the universe are engaged in their ceremony of delight. This is my religion. The attraction between suns is the same as the love pulsating in my heart. The attraction between suns is the same as the love pulsating in my heart. So that's just, they didn't come from me. And it's not Socrates. No, it's a different part of the planet. So they're very beautiful. The rest of the text is very, very beautiful. It's divine. Carol, you're here. Oh, it's so lovely to have you here. And I'm so glad about your news that your beloved sent me recently. So I will read at 9 o'clock. I will read the rest of the words. And whoever can guess who wrote those words, where the text came from, nectar for my soul, then there's a free stay at Healing Waters. You need to message us and we will arrange that. Wait, Walt Whitman, letters from God, Melanie says. No. The Radiant Sutra. No, I've not heard of that. So beautiful, Juliet. Yes, it was very beautiful.
It is very profound. It's got it all.
It's got it all.
Yes, where we need to go, that unity intertwined.
Yeah, we have to raise our vibration. We have to spread the love and stand in our integrity, do our healing work, notice where we get compromised, where we haven't healed enough.
I'm not sure that it is Rumi, no. Maybe.
It's not Rumi. It's definitely not Rumi, no.
No, it isn't. And it's not Hafiz.
No. I had absolutely never heard.
No, and it's not Khalil Gibran either, because
No.
I've read all of Khalil Gibran. No. So it's from another dimension.
So it's a big piece. It's a big piece of homework for you for tonight.
Yeah.
Or hang on, we need to put a time frame on this. Sufi. That's a bit too generalized. I don't think it's Sufi. So let's see. We'll give until next week, until next Wednesday. So whoever can come up with the answer before next Wednesday gets a free stay at Healing Waters, a free night stay at Healing Waters.
No cheating, no going on internet to look it up.
Oh, no, I think they need to check out some sources. They have to do some work. They have to listen to the words, maybe write them down, and then see what they can find.
That means you'll have to listen to the two elders at the end of this, so you catch up, Juliet. I think, Juliet, you started at around 46 or 47 minutes, this beautiful story. And we're on 59 now. So there we are. Sutra 34, Melanie King.
Well, I don't know.
We'll
so
see.
listen out. Come on at 9. Come on at 9, and
Melanie, you're really keen to have a night at Juliet's Healing Waters, aren't you?
I think Melanie is just she's got a curious mind. Yeah.
The Vijnana by Bhairava Tantra by Nicola.
Okay, well, that's interesting.
There are some amazing, profound
things. So you'll have to email me the answer at.
Yeah, what about the scarf auction? I did mention that to Juliet, and because I've been away for so long, the scarves are waiting. There are 2 of them now. And yes, we need to sort that out too, Graham. And I can see you're very keen to have a scarf lecture.
If we go on any longer, it'll be springtime and nobody will need a scarf anymore. Have you thought about that?
Oh, Juliet, well, then we have to stop. But they will have it for next winter.
They will, yeah. Okay, so we have
Melanie's really working on Radiant Sutra -34, translated by Lauren Roche.
Jack loves his scarf. So there we are. We're at the end. Is there anything else, Brigitte, that you want to share, my love?
No.
My lovely one.
Oh, except whatever is going on around you, be supple. Learn to bend like the reed.
But
Don't
stay
go.
aligned in your integrity at the same time.
Yes, yes. Whatever comes your way to unwaver you or take the blanket from under your feet. Yes, and trust. Trust loved ones, family, friends. We are there for each other. And that is where we are all going to merge. So everything else will collapse as we merge back to the center, to the essence.
Yeah, Sharon says it's an amazing time to be alive.
Yes, yes. And a very challenging one. Very challenging.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Very, very challenging.
Because the body can do so much. So you can see tonight I'm a little bit burnt out. Just a little bit. Yes, it's just
so
yeah.
Look outside and laugh inside. These people are not winning. No.
Oh, definitely not, Graham.
And Carol says, thank you for your dear presence at this time. Lots of love, Carol. I was thinking about you last night and how much I'd love to have a catch up with you. So let's do that soon.
Yeah. And I would just love to invite all those loved ones who are facing extreme difficulties or who are passing on, including beautiful Julie's mother. Julie was not on the call tonight, so Julie, we're holding your mother. She's passing now. And all those young people who really need us and the children. So 1,000 blessings to each one of you. And I don't know if I should use the word I honor each one of you, but I receive your presence. That feels more aligned and in integrity. And Juliet, I receive you too.
Yeah, lots of love to you. Lots of love, and listen out for the rest of the poem tonight.
Well, let us know where you put it.
I'm going to read it. When I do the Freedom Bells, I'm going to read the next one, the rest of it.
Where is that? On Facebook?
Yes, on Facebook. I'll post it on Facebook.
But which Facebook one of yours?
My Facebook page.
Okay, lovely.
My personal one. So that's where I've posted the Freedom Bells every night. So if anybody else wants to post a Freedom Bell or ring a Freedom Bell at 9 o'clock or share the idea to other people, that would be wonderful. So Melanie says, lots of love. We are in the scarf movement from Graham.
I love that, Graham.
And Jack says, I honor both of you. Bless you, Jack. Marianne says, lots of hearts and love.
Yeah.
We're doing this together, everyone. We're doing it together, and together we're strong. Loads of love to you all.
Blessings.
Blessings. Yeah. Bye.